bro, sis, you want to have fun, but you don't have need to have fun. Like, seriously. Okay, so this is one conversation I've always wanted to have with you all. Yes, talking about the Lagos nightlife. Yes, because every time I listen to people rave about how beautiful, how glorious, how exciting and entertaining, Lagos is at night, I get kind of frustrated because it's like I keep on waiting for them to hit the nail on the head. In other words, give the details, about this Lagos nightlife, but they never ever get there. It's like they just assume that everybody knows about it already. But hey, it is shocking to know that there are a lot of people that do not really understand that to actually experience, right, like properly enjoy the Lagos nightlife, there are some basic requirements. Yes, it's shocking, right? Yes, but this is a fact. There are some basic requirements that you need to sort of possess or possibly have access to properly experience and most of all enjoy the Lagos nightlife. And by Lagos nightlife, ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about your basic regular Monday evening, Tuesday evening, Wednesday evening, or every day of the week type of evening. No, we're talking about weekends in Lagos. So people just gave it this general term, the Lagos nightlife. Yes, and there's this popular saying over here in Lagos that the weekend in Lagos begins on Thursdays for a lot of people. Yeah, begins on Thursday evenings and ends in the early hours of Monday mornings. And it's also shock you to know that there are people that rave until the early hours of Monday morning and then they rush home to change, or maybe they just stop by somewhere where they have a plan B. They change up, and for those that actually have a 9 to 5 job, they go to work from there. So it's a lot, and I'm going to be spilling all of that tea on this video. All right, but before we get into it, quick introduction. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Simply Gloria Elijah, where I share my travel experiences and just talk about anything I fancy. And this conversation is one of such. So if you like it already, just give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead, share your own experience in the comment section below. All right, and please do well to subscribe, turn on your post notification bell if you haven't, to always receive a lot of my videos like this. And quick disclaimer, all right, these basic requirements I'm going to be sharing on this video on how to properly experience and thoroughly enjoy the Lagos nightlife, it is solely from my personal observation and personal experiences, as an ex-Lagos nightlifer, if there's anything like that. Yes, in other words, once upon a time I used to go out a lot. I've learned a lot over the years, and currently I'm in my 30s and I'm no longer a Lagos party animal. So I feel like I sort of have, some level of authority to be able to share these basic requirements with all of you. So as I mentioned before, this is from my personal experience and observation. If you have yours to share, please share in the comment section below. And if you agree with me, let me know. Just guys, let's just have fun in the comment section. Okay, let's get into it. So first off, I think it's very imperative to note that Lagos is actually divided into two parts, right? Now it's also divided into subparts, but the major division is between the island of Lagos and the mainland of Lagos. Now, the way it is viewed generally, people see the island as the parts for the rich and influential or affluential, whilst the mainland of Lagos is for the not so influential or affluential, if you know what I mean. I don't want to use the word poor, but just like that. But that does not mean that the mainland of Lagos does not have very wealthy people living there. As a matter of fact, they have very, very wealthy people. Those people, they call them the old money. of Lagos. Yes, because the money of Lagos did not actually begin from the island of Lagos. That is story for another day. The reason I am actually stating that categorically is because this Lagos nightlife actually revolves around the island of Lagos, not necessarily the mainland of Lagos, because a lot of people make that mistake. They generalize a lot, and sometimes people go to the mainland expecting to find the kind of fun, the kind of vibe that you can possibly get on the island, and then they get disappointed when they do not necessarily find that kind of vibe or energy on the mainland. All right, so this Lagos nightlife that people rave about a lot, it mostly happens on the island of Lagos. And when I say island of Lagos, I'm speaking about Victoria Island, Lagos, Ikoyi, and Lekki environs. It is on the island of Lagos that you find most of these fancy restaurants, what I call the bougie restaurants, the luxury restaurants and lounges and bars and clubs, especially. Yes, it's all on the island. Yeah, people say that it is on the island of Lagos that we have most of our celebrities that reside in Lagos, hanging out. You meet them anywhere, from hotels to restaurants to bars to lounges to clubs. But as I mentioned before, as much as there is the raving, nightlife, there is also the very, very quiet nightlife. Yes, but we're not going to go into the quiet nightlife. All right, now the raving nightlife happens most of the time in these bars, these lounges, and these clubs. Yes, and this is where I begin to share with you the basic requirements to fully experience and more especially enjoy the Lagos nightlife. Okay, so first basic requirement, and this one, I'm going to tag this one an absolute necessity. Yes, you need money. Yeah, money. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot overemphasize on this one enough. You need money. And listen, do not allow anybody deceive you that they've got you covered. Listen, you might have someone or people that are ready to foot the bill, that are ready to spend money for you to have a good time. But listen, darling, I have heard stories. I've heard good stories, and I've also heard very horrible stories about how people just disappear, and people who thought they had people that had them covered just got stranded at a club or a bar, and they had to start looking for how to pay the bills. Listen, you just want to cover yourself. So think of yourself and think of any possible embarrassment that might just happen. Don't allow anybody spring any surprise on you. Just have money. Very important. Have money. All right. And also have it at the back of your mind that whichever location you choose to want to go have fun or experience, everywhere on the island is expensive. Every club is expensive. Every lounge, every bar is expensive. You're going to be spending at least 50,000 naira to enjoy your time there, depending on what you like. All right. If food is going to be included, you just might want to increase that 50,000 naira to at least 100,000 naira. All right. I'm not saying it is a must that you spend that amount, but I'm just saying that you should have your own money. And when I say your own money, have at least 50,000 naira, like emergency funds. Just have your own money. Second basic requirement is access. Believe me when I say that access in Lagos has a totally different definition. I'm not capping you. Access is not just walking to a place to go and have fun. Access is not just about driving to a place. Now, sometimes you might get lucky, you just drive and boom, you get into the place. But access has an entirely different definition over here in Lagos, especially when we're talking about the Lagos nightlife. Access means contacts, connections, acquaintances, friendships via relationship or whatever You just need to know somebody that knows somebody, all right? And when we're talking about knowing somebody, it could be an insider or an outsider of a particular place or places that you would love to explore, right? And for you to get the fullest experience in such places without interruptions, without embarrassment, right? You want to know people such as maybe the bouncers at the gate, maybe the waiters that work in such places, maybe the manager, maybe even the owner of the place, or the promoters. If it's a club, you want to know the promoter of the club, right? And I am saying this with all level of seriousness because for people that are regulars currently in the Lagos nightlife scene, they will agree with me that for every club in Lagos, there are regulars. There are people that have booked a table maybe 1 week ahead, or maybe 2 weeks ahead, or maybe by virtue of their relationship with the club owner or the promoter of the place, or maybe the reservations officer, they've already booked a table. So you that has no contact or connection with any of these people, sometimes you might even come maybe days ahead and they will tell you they are fully booked. And you're wondering like, okay, that's weird. But that is the truth. Yes, these places sometimes get fully booked, except if the economy is really dealing with them at that point in time. You just might be lucky to just walk into the place and they will welcome you with open arms and offer you a table that would usually be reserved, right? But on a normal day, on a regular, you need access. Yes, you need the right contacts, the right connection. You need to know the right people, right? You need to know people, you need to know somebody that knows somebody and whatnot. But in my own case, I do not know all of these people that I have mentioned. So what I do most of the time to be on the safe side is I try to call in to make my reservations, and if there's no space, I move on to the next one. It's not a do or die affair for me to have fun, right? But most of the time, I just call in to make reservation. And a lot of times when you go on social media spaces like TikTok, you see a lot of people, girls especially, complaining about how they were embarrassed by the bouncers in a particular place, by security in a particular place, by the waiters in a particular place. Most of the time, those girls did not call in to make any reservations. Yeah, most of the time, they just walk into a place like that. And that is the mistake that a lot of people that want to actually experience the Lagos nightlife make. They do not call in to make reservations, right? And the only people most of the time that get away with not making reservations are people that have that access I have just defined. Yes. So except you have that kind of access, then don't have to stress yourself about making reservations. But if you do not have that kind of access, trust me, darling, you totally need to make your reservations. Very necessary to avoid embarrassment, because trust me, most of these nightlife places in Lagos, especially on the island, they are very quick to embarrassing people. They are very quick to raining on your parade. So if you like look good, smell good, and go there with all of your guts and glory, you might just leave there looking like the shittiest person ever. Yeah. So access is very, very important. Okay. Moving on to the third basic requirement to properly experience and enjoy the Lagos nightlife. This one I also tag as a necessity. Just as much as you need money, you also need to be mobile. In other words, you need a, a fuel filled, engine functioning vehicle on standby. If you can even afford to hire a driver for the night, trust me, it will come in handy. Because here's the thing, if you want to depend on cab services, trust me, it might be disappointing. Because for every weekend in Lagos, on the island especially, it gets really difficult to easily get a cab, whether on Uber or any other cab service application. It gets really difficult. I remember some time ago my vehicle was at my mechanic's undergoing some regular checks, and oh my God, it was hell. It was hell booking a ride on the Uber app. It was hell waiting and waiting and waiting for almost an hour, to get a ride. And it could be very frustrating when you are at a location and you're not just feeling the vibe, it's not getting fun anymore. The DJ is playing the same old songs, a whole playlist is finished and the DJ repeats it again. Everything just gets boring and you want to move locations. You want to try somewhere else. If you do not have a vehicle at your disposal, at that point in time, it gets really frustrating. And the next thing that comes to your mind sometimes is, okay, maybe this is not just the night. Maybe I should just go home. So this is why I advise that you need a fuel-filled, engine functioning vehicle at your disposal. And sometimes you just might want to be a bit extra, have more fun than usual. You just might want to get tipsy or probably mistakenly get drunk. You need a driver or somebody that can drive you home if you're not responsible enough to drive yourself home. So this one is very, very important. Now, quickly moving on. This particular requirement is 100% compulsory. And I'm talking about none other than your steez. Ladies and gentlemen, your steez needs to be on 1000. Listen, ask anybody in Lagos. They will tell you that this is compulsory. And I am saying this with all manner of seriousness. Listen, you need to take this one serious, all right? Even if you don't have money, let me just tell you one trick. Even if you don't have money, but you've got steez, you've got style, the way you carry yourself, trust me when I say that sometimes, without access, without money, without the contacts, you would just have access to certain places. You need to look good, male or female. You need to look good. You need to smell good. And let me give you one expo. Let me give you one expo. You need to splash on a bit of loud luxury. The Lagos nightlife is not the time for you to get into your quiet luxury era. No. I mean, I'm one of those people that I want to be as comfortable as possible in whatever I wear. This is my PJs I'm wearing right now, and there are days that I would wear my PJs and I would drive to the supermarket. Yes, there are days like that for me. I love being comfortable. But when it's time for me to step out, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's when I remember that, okay, I have one Dior bag. I have one Fendi bag. I go around and I look for one of, just little luxury components, that I can just splash. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me. Lagos is a very, very vain city, especially the island of Lagos. It is very vain. And the most shocking is how most bouncers of most clubs and bars and lounges, it is how they are able to tell the difference between raw human hair and the synthetic one, the fiber looking ones. These people know. Yes. And there's a way they look at you and they rate you before you even open your mouth to speak your accent, whether your original or fake accent. They just look at you as a female and they are able to rate you instantly. And then they look at your feet. If you're not wearing very nice looking pair of heels, they already rate you a 0. They look at your outfit. If you're looking trashy, depending on where you go to, they might turn you back. So your steez, your style, in other words, you need to shine. You need to look good. You need to look responsible. And you need to kind of look rich. Yeah. Some people get away with it probably because they already have access. Some people get away with it probably because of the crowd that they are following at that point in time. But if you're walking alone into a place like a club on the island of Lagos to experience the Lagos nightlife, trust me, you need to splash on a bit of loud luxury. And that is why when you go to the pages of most of these clubs or bars, on Instagram and you look at the videos that they actually use for promotions, if you notice, they use videos of ladies that has their makeup, their hair on fleek, men that's got their bling bling on fleek, men that's got their wristwatches, screaming loud luxury. There's nothing like quiet luxury. Yes, if you want to put that wear outfits that's got hidden logos or whatever, they might look at you like, nah, this one, you're not worthy to come and dine and wine in our establishment. And see, places like that, they've got that pride. They know that you are a fun seeker and you would give anything to come into their space to have fun and experience all the whatever they've got in store for you. So you need to show up, and when you're showing up, you need to come correct. That is the fact. You need to come correct. So if you're a female, your hair needs to look good. You don't have to go and be doing all those shapa baby hair that covers your eyebrows. No, you need to look good. You need to look responsible. You need to smell good. Your confidence needs to be on 100. Yes, your audacity needs to be on 100 as well. And as I said, the Lagos nightlife is not a time for you to parade your quiet luxury lifestyle. No, sometimes you need to, just come correct, because that is what the town requires at that time of the day. They want to see you stand out. They want to see you and, point out, okay, this one is worthy to come party in my establishment. Listen, if you think I'm lying, go out and watch and observe. Most of the time you go out and you're just out there, you're just having your own fun and you're not really looking at all of these things. But now that I've mentioned it, look around you and you will see that what I am saying is true. Next basic requirement. This one does not really count as a necessity in my books because, hey, I am a one-woman squad. I go out a lot by myself and I have fun a lot by myself, except when my partner is around. But if my partner is not around and I feel like having fun, I know places to go to that I can just enjoy my alone time, and then I come back home and that is it for the night. Yes, but if you have this one, it counts as a plus for you. All right, and I am talking about having the right clique, the right friends, the right group of friends, the right crowd to really enjoy the Lagos nightlife. Remember, I said, if you do not have the right clique, if you do not have friends, if you are a loner like me, then your audacity works for you, your confidence works for you. Yes, I mean, you are sufficient, you're enough for yourself. But if you do have a crowd or a clique, then it counts as a plus. And the reason is, if you are new to the Lagos nightlife scene, it might be a bit lonely because there are certain places you go to where people are having the time of their life. But when you look closely, you find out that they're actually having the most fun with the people that they came with. They're having the most fun with their circle, their friends, their clique. And if you look closer, within those cliques, you find the quiet ones, you find the party animals, or you'll find cliques where everybody's energy matches the whole vibe of the rave that's happening at that point in time. So if you're not really used to such scenes, sometimes you might feel out of place, sometimes you might feel alone, and you might not really have your fun. But if that does not bother you, then by all means, let your audacity speak for you. Let your confidence speak for you. All right. Let your energy carry you through the night, But there's also the part where, people say the more the merrier. I don't know. When I go out with my partner, I have a lot of fun. All right. I have a lot of fun, as much as I have fun when I go out by myself, but it's never the same. Yeah, it's never the same. But listen, don't be deterred. All right, if you want to enjoy the Lagos nightlife by yourself, by all means, go ahead, go for it, and you will have the time of your life. And who knows, you just might meet new people. You might meet new people. You might meet your husband. You might meet new people. You might meet your future partner out there, because hey, trust me, Lagos sure has very fine looking young men and women. Yes, responsible ones too. I mean, the ones that want to be responsible. Be careful out there because there are some people that look responsible, but they are mad, you know. So I'm sure you guys can handle yourself, but yeah, have the right clique, the right circle of friends. And if you also have big ballers, you know, people they call big ballers, big spenders, people that enjoy holding down the bill, people that enjoy paying for everything when they go out with friends, it's also a plus for you because at that point in time, you guys can really go beyond your budget. Yes. But if you do not have big spenders in your clique, then you remember what I said as the number one basic requirement: money. Have your own money so that even though you are outside with your clique, with your friends, your circle, you will be able to contribute to clearing the bills. Yes, because I've heard stories of where people go out with friends and they end up quarreling when some people don't want to contribute to paying the bills, and then some people are left with handling the bills. And it makes me wonder, like, bro, sis, you want to have fun, but you don't have money to have fun. Like, seriously. Anyways, that is all for my basic requirement to enjoy the Lagos nightlife. For me, I think I have retired. Yes, not because I am in my 30s or anything, but I think I've actually grown bored of the Lagos nightlife. I think it's now very repetitive in terms of the kind of music they play. And I think I have grown out of touch with the kind of Nigerian music that they play. And this is no shade to my amazing Nigerian music artists. They are simply some of the best in the world, yes. But for those of you that know me well, you know that house music, Afro house is my vibe, is my thing, yes. So anywhere that kind of music calls, that is where you find me, you know. So I think I've kind of grown bored of the repetitive nature of the typical Nigerian like nightlife. You know, you go to a club or a bar and it's the same kind of music that they keep playing. It gets boring and I easily get bored with things like that. Another thing is it's the same faces you see. Yeah. You go out to this place, it's the same group of people, it's the same people, it's the same people. I easily get bored of seeing the same kind of people all the time, you know. So for me, it's like, okay, let me stay away for maybe like 3 months or 4 months. And when I come back, maybe I will see new faces. Maybe I will see another crowd. But sadly, it tends to remain the same. I don't know, but hey, it gets boring. Oh, and there's this new thing now in Lagos that is now the new Lagos nightlife, which is kind of weird to me. So back in the day, when I say back in the day, I'm talking about like 6, 7 years ago. When you go to a club, there's an open space for people to dance and mingle and just have fun. But now we have this resto lounge situation going on, the new clubs that are springing up, the new restaurants and lounges. What they do now is they have sit down areas, right? There's no space for people to stand up and dance. There's just tables and chairs all over the place. And then there's like a center stage where choreographers come and perform. We have choreographers, we have performers. People come in to do break dancing, people come in to do Afrobeats dance moves, people come in to do all this soiree. Guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. And come on, if I want to see things like that, I can just go on TikTok or Instagram or Netflix and I can watch people dance. I don't see any reason why I should go out, to have fun and the music is playing, and if I happen to like the song, I can't really dance because there's no space for me to dance. But instead, I have to sit down and act all prim and proper like a lady and watch whilst other people dance. I mean, come on. You people that go to places like that, how do you find it? Is it fun? Is it interesting? Because I don't know. I actually went to a particular resto lounge bar. I don't want to call the name, but it's one of those places I really like because of their lamb chops, of course. And their shisha, of course, their shisha is really delicious. to smoke. So I went there with my partner and we were having so much fun. We're having a blast. We're dancing, we're vibing. And the next day we knew the music kind of changed and there were spotlights on the stage. I did not even notice that there was actually a stage in the middle of the place. And then there was a stage, and then some dancers, girls and guys, about 6 of them, they mounted the stage and then they started dancing. And they danced for only like 5 minutes. And then they left. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me when I tell you that it was such an awkward moment because it felt like the people that were there, they were so into the previous vibe that when these performers came on the stage to dance, it felt like people were offended, like, oh my God, what is going on? Why did you just interrupt such a beautiful moment? That was the vibe. You could feel the silence. Guys, everyone was so quiet. Yes. And by the time DJ was doing chiki 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 chiki, hey, he's in the building, chiki chiki chiki. People were just standing and looking like you could hear people murmuring at some point after that heavy silence, and then people were now murmuring, and then the music now came back on, and it took like another 10 minutes roughly, before people started getting back into the vibe. And then let's say like 30 minutes later, the performers came back on stage again. And you know who started this whole drama in this Lagos? It's a particular restaurant. That restaurant, I don't want to mention their name, but you guys know that restaurant. They started it, bringing all these exotic dancers. And before we knew, people's daddies and mommies and uncles and aunties, they started flocking that place like, birds. And they want to watch these people dance and perform. And then, boom, before you knew it, different bars and lounges in Lagos, on the island especially, decided that, okay, this is probably the new vibe in Lagos. Let us, copy them and do what we want to do. Boom. Everybody started having exotic dancers, people hanging from chandeliers, people hanging from ropes, guys, it's now like the Lagos nightlife has evolved terribly into a circus. Let me put it that way. Into a circus. And I'm going to be frank with you all. Call me weird, call me odd, but things like that do not really freak me. If I want to go out and have fun, I really want to have fun. I really want to dance because, come on, I work too hard. And most of the time, I'm sitting down and I am working. So when I go out, I do not want to sit down and be looking. I want to dance. I want to move. I want to, I want to vibe. I want to rave. But now, you have to go to these places and you are watching people dance for you. Like, who sent you? But I don't. You know what, guys? Let me stop talking here. I feel like I've actually said a lot on this video. I would love to hear your thoughts about my basic requirements, about your own idea of a perfect Lagos nightlife, and of course, your opinion as well about this new style of having performers entertain people at clubs and bars and lounges and restaurants. Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you all on another video soon. Bye. You know I want you.